Brixton Metals in the news recently. Brixton trades in the venture exchange under the symbol BBB and BBBXF on the OTCQB as they target some copper porphyry at the Thorn project. Got with me now President CEO Gary Thompson. Hey Gary, appreciate the time as always here. Another update from Thorn. Why don't you run through this release and maybe what else is going on for Brixton?
Yeah, well, we recently announced our plan for drilling a I guess shoot for the fence gangbuster copper porphyry target that we're drilling on our Thorn property. So the plan is to get up there early as we can, which is likely early June, to drill a 1,000-meter hole for testing a copper porphyry target. And I guess the rationale is that we drilled this area a number of years ago. In fact, 2012, 2013. We actually made a pretty significant precious metal discovery, mostly silver. And when we look back at the data, we saw some pretty impressive copper numbers that were I guess not really looked at too closely. But when we look back at the data from a copper porphyry target perspective, we had a 30-meter interval of over 1% copper, and the deepest hole we drilled on the Oban target was 383 meters that ended in, basically the hole ended in 0.5% copper. So the idea is to drill past through that down to 1,000 meters and see if we can continue to hit copper mineralization. So we're pretty excited about that. It's a big hole. Most of the holes were fairly shallow, and the deepest one is around 400 meters. So if this pans out and we're continuing to see copper mineralization, then that kind of changes the story for us on the project. And then we basically highlighted our phase 2 plan, which is to drill test another target we've developed over the last few years called the Chivas porphyry target, and it represents a large copper gold moly target on the property that hasn't been properly tested. So that'll keep us busy for the season, I think there. And I think the idea is to get this deep hole drilled. It probably should take us 10 days, 2 weeks to drill, and then basically going to shift gears over to our other Northwest BC project called the Atlin Goldfields project that we have a camp under construction now, and we've got crews basically mobilizing up there next week. So that's more of a gold target. Right now it looks like high-grade vein type gold targets on in the Atlin camp, which people may or may not be familiar with, but it's a historical 120-year placer mining camp that's still actively being mined for placer gold, and where they're looking to find the source of all that high-grade gold in the Atlin camp. So 2 projects focus on copper, large-scale copper porphyry targets on the Thorn project, and basically high-grade gold vein deposits on the Atlin Goldfields project.
Okay, Gary Thompson, President, CEO, Brixton Metals, BBB on the venture, BBBXF, OTCQB in the States. Hey, Gary, appreciate the update here, and certainly catch up to you in the future.
Yes, thank you very much.